How you doing, everybody? Stockoption Sniper here. I hope you're all doing great. Today, I hope you all had an amazing trading day. The market was extremely bearish at the pre-market, but then had that bounce up in bullish. I hope you all manage your trade. But overall, I'm going to share something extremely important with you. I want to get straight to the point here. So I'm going to show you guys the bank's S&D zone, right? I'm gonna talk about this in detail right here. I'm gonna get visual for us. So basically, what we've been talking about here over and over and over a billion times, a trillion times, matter of fact, is we find our S&D zone, we find our structure, our S&D zone, and we use that confirmation of that Wyckoff waiting for a price to come up there, that weak hand to strong hand transfer and take the price lower and lower, right? I'm going to show you guys the bank's supply and demand zone so you guys don't ever get confused on saying that, okay, this is my demand zone right here. Like in this scenario, right? I want to show you guys a perfect example, right? As a retail trader, we go by the mistake of saying this is my demand zone, or you want to stretch it, it's up to you. This is my demand zone right here. So I'm looking to take calls. Did you make money? Yes, you made money. Awesome. But if you held that play, not knowing where the price target is, you would have got destroyed. So you probably got out. Let's say you got out, right? This is right here. As a retail, let me move this. As a retail trader, you're gonna tell yourself, "Hey, this is my resistance, so I'm getting out here." So you took a scalp from 413, and you held that play until your resistance. Beautiful play. Gotta give that up, right? Overall, if you did become greedy and you told yourself, "Listen, I'm gonna keep. This is it. This is my demand zone. It's gonna go higher and higher." We don't even know what higher means. But in this point, let's say it goes all the way higher and higher, right? So what happens? Broke your support, you're happy, you're like, all right, this is awesome, I'm going to buy more. What happened? There it goes down, right? And now it comes back here again. All right, I'm gonna average down. I'm gonna average down, or you gave away a lot of money here because you think it's a demand zone and you bought more again. What happened? It never held, right? And then what happened again? You try to buy more, and what happened? It went down, right? You might have think this is a W or a double bottom. And look what happened, right? And of course, we see what's going on here, and I can explain this in in any certain way because I already know I see what happened. But literally, the market is doing that to everybody every single time, and I want to show you guys what I mean. So when I talk about the zone of why it's so important to find these, some call it institutional supply and demand zone. I'm just gonna call it bank demand zone, right? Because I used to think before that essence supply and demand zone is just where the buyers sell and where the buyers are selling, right? Those supply zone. That's cool too. I made money. I made so much money on crowd. I made so much money on other plays just using that. But I'm talking to the individuals that want their trading to be more specific and refined, right? Supply zone goes up, supply zone go down. Awesome, that works too. I tell you guys all the time. You can use a coin to go you can use a coin, a flip to flip a coin to use it as your strategy. The only thing that will make it a great strategy is that you have great risk management behind it, right? You can say, hey, heads is going to be calls, tails is going to be puts, right? But in this scenario, I'm going to show you guys a very powerful bank supply and demand zone, right? Which is more likely to hold. And for you to understand, we're going to combine it with liquidity, knowing where the price is going, right? Why did I put that? Well, basically, I found my structure and I measured this candle right here as my SND, right? That is a form of SND. That is the last up move before the down move. And what happened? That's what we have here. We found our structure, meaning we're going to target the highs and the low of that. And did we get the play? No, barely touched. That's fine, and you're gonna miss it, right? That's totally normal. And then you're going to have this structure right here, where you know the trend. Give me a sec, let me delete that. Like right here, right? Like you have your structure here. We're gonna make it the opposite. I realize I'm always doing demand zone, so let's change it up a little bit. I'm doing structure. You have that last down move before the up, that last down move, which is this candle, and you're gonna stretch that to your demand zone, right? Waiting for price to come back up there. It's not a supply zone, it is a demand zone, right? And what happened? Did price come up there to touch it? Yes, it did. No, it did not, right? We missed it, and that's okay. That's going to happen. But we have one right here too, right? Look at that structure. This entire schematic is a structure. So we have this to there. Okay, if you don't know the video, if you don't know what I'm talking about structure, I have a video all on structure, right? We don't have to go over that, but I do have a video on that, right? So this itself is another structure. You wait for price to come to that zone, make that red, and what happened? You do take that up. So once you take that up, where are you going? You're looking for price to take higher, so you could have got your entry here, and when you got your entry here, you could have ride it all the way up at the top of the structure with the price target was hit. You could have left runner to make sure, or to see where the price is going. You understand that there's a lot of orders here, right? A lot of orders here. So what happened? We are looking to target all the banks are going to target all those orders, right? The banks are also going to target this order. There's a lot of orders here. Did we catch that? We caught that. Good. At this point, you're just targeting orders and orders, and you are having a lot of risk management in your place, and you're trailing it, right? If you don't have to trail it, that's fine too. You definitely would have made a lot of money, right? And we're just waiting for price to keep coming back up here, right? This entire structure, right? This entire structure right here, right? And you wait for price to come up here, that up move before the down move, which is right here, right? You're waiting for price to come up these zones. Did it touch? No, it did not touch, right? We want price to pull back, but it never pulled back. So these are basically institutional SND. Why? Because we have an understanding that when price goes like this, right? Because where's my polyline here? This I can't see it, right? So when price comes up here, for those pullbacks, right? So on the high side, we're looking for price to pull back on these zones, right? Right, these are our entry. So individuals are thinking, okay, we're going down, we're gonna tank. But what we really want to do is finding those areas of so-called imbalance, right? Fair value gap, whatever you want to call them, for those to be mitigated to take the price higher, right? Wait for that up move again, and then wait for those down move to take it price higher, or so-called pullbacks. You guys see that? Right? And you take price higher and higher, and you look for those areas that needs to be liquidated. And it's the same thing for the downside. Once you find that on the downside, right? You find that on the downside, you're looking for these areas where prices, which is your structure, right? Which is your structure, the form of SND, that last up move before the down move, and you're waiting for prices to come to that areas where, right, in form of Wyckoff confirmation. And what's what happened? We look for those prices, targeting the structures, protect the structure low, taking the price higher, taking the price lower in this scenario, right? And then we have these lows looking to be liquidated, where individuals are thinking that it is a demand zone, like what happened here, right? This would have confused you, and it's always going to give you that cookie effect, right? Look at that. Oh, this is my demand zone. This is my demand zone. And they trick you. That's what they want you to think. I'm always, right? Because the composite man is the individual that create the market mover, market maker, will always think the opposite of the retail trader, right? They want you to think it's a demand zone so you can take price higher. And what happens? They bring it down. This right here, you would have thought is another demand zone, right? And it did. It pulled back up. It was a great play, but they gave you that cookie effect. And what happened? Tanked the market overall, right? So if you're trading retail supply and demand zone, we're literally doing this. I used to do this. That's why I'm qualified to say this. But in the scenario, I want you guys to use areas of supply and demand zone via where your trend is at, right? This is a supply zone. So you're looking for that structure and the last up move before the down move that created that down move. And what happened? You wait for price to come back up there, take it lower, or potentially you target the structure low, like in this scenario, this entire structure, targeting the structure low, leaving runners to make sure or where we want to take the price lower, right? So I want to make it visual. So you have that structure, right? Once you have that structure, you're gonna find that SMD, which is this right here, right? Once you find that SMD, you wait for price to come up there, and sometimes price will not touch it. We've seen that multiple times like this right here, right? Price did not touch that zone, but well, technically the zone is up here. Price did not go up to that zone, and what happened? We missed the down move, and that's okay. I'm just gonna say it's part of the game because it is, right? But you do not change your strategies because that happened, right? And you wait for that price, and then once you get that entry, you confirm that in a lower time frame, which I teach you guys the rule 30. You wait for that weak hand to strong hand transfer, and what happened? You target the low of that structure. Once you target the low, you can leave runners so that we may potentially can go down lower and lower, and you can raise that stop loss that you put up here down lower, just right by that structure. And what happened? You can take it lower and lower, and that's how we get big RR, targeting the liquidity this low, targeting the liquidity on this low. And that's exactly what happened with SPY here. We target the liquidity here, ran over that zone. Target the liquidity down here, ran over that zone. Targeting the liquidity here, ran over that zone. And right now you can go to your higher time frame, and it looks like we targeted the liquidity here, right? Liquidity around there, right? Oops. Where's my horizontal line? Right here. Targeting the liquidity here, which we did. Targeting the liquidity down here, which we did. Right? You guys can see these are where the liquidity just means where the most order lies. And we literally targeted. Who the hell expect this was going to go to 348? Right? My expectation for this was going to at least 350, which it did. I think I've been telling that to my community. No, I'm sorry, 360. 360. And when I saw it at 350, I said, wow, this is crazy. And then 348 just happened, right? And potentially we're looking to liquidate these lows right here eventually. And then they're going to fuel it down with the market, right? But the composite man has a position all the way up here. So we know right now there's a lot of orders here, right? A lot of orders before they made this damn move. So let's make this purple to make sure that this is our target. So what can happen? Well, the composite man can take back all its order because we understand that when the composite man made this entire down move, we know the composite man opened up a bunch of position. Now they're all negative. They're negative billions and billions of dollars in their position, but they don't have to worry about that because they have a lot of money. That money is the last thing they need to worry about because they know that they control the market. So what they're going to do is they're going to make even more money creating this move on those position. And what's going to happen is that they're going to take back liquidity in this high, right? People think it's a supply zone now. Cookie effect, liquidity in this high, right? Cookie effect, liquidity on this high, and eventually liquidity all the way up here. Now individuals are thinking, all right, we have to take calls, and then they made this their supply zone because there's demand zone. And then what's going to happen? Liquidity here again, right? Liquidity here again, right? Liquidity here, and shake it down, and it's just gonna it's gonna do that over and over. And usually market confuses you by blinding you when it comes to news. We gotta upgrade, we gotta downgrade. Nvidia starts selling in China, and all these things happen, right? Hang on, you guys. Right, all these things happen, and basically, I teach you guys to study the smart money footprint, right? Literally, I try to make it so simple for you guys to understand the 3-box strategy method. And I've been talking a lot about the same exact thing over and over. Some of them are, little strategy that you can refine the strategy. And most of them, I have to give them out to the mentorship about the double MBs and certain strategies that I do not give out. Right? I save those for the mentorship. We go over the detail on how we focus on this, how we focus on this area right here, these areas, so we can take the prices higher, right? Focus on these little areas right here, so the market do not confuse us to think that it is going to a downtrend, right? So I teach that very detailed in my mentorship, but I'm always gonna say you don't need my mentorship. If you stay tuned and you just literally watch and study the videos and understand it and backtest it, That's all you guys really need, right? I have a lot of students that are winning just watching my free content, and they're taking the time to watch my free content and taking advantage that it is free, that they don't have to invest $20,000 just to learn this information and all that other stuff, right? So you guys, I want to tell you guys that these are literally institutional SND zones, right? Right here. You find your structure, and this right here becomes your supply zone. That candle right there. This becomes your institutional zone, waiting for price to come up there, touch that price. You confirm it in a lower time frame using my rule of 30, and then you have that weekend strong hand transfer confirmation, potentially targeting the low and potentially taking the price lower and lower, confirming your liquidity from here to there. You guys got that? Right? We're doing that over and over and over, right? And we know, you guys already know, that the form of rejection right here, that wick, is a form of SND, right? You guys know that already if you are watching my videos, right? Let's go to another play. You guys know I'm against this 1 hour long time video. I like to be straight to the point, and you guys are, I get what he said. I'm gonna go run with it, right? We caught a beautiful play on this Tesla. We caught a beautiful play on this Tesla, right? Tesla had a beautiful setup. I gave this to my community, right? We found the structure there. Once we found that structure, we got that last up move before that down move, and what happened? Right? Is it correct? That candle right there. Right? And what happened? What did we do? I'll show you what we did. What we did. Right? So all we had to do was be patient. We waited for price to come up there, and what happened? All we can do is wait for that to come up. We put our alerts. We put our alerts there, and what happened? Boom, had that price come down, targeting these liquidity. Clearly, that liquidity, and this liquidity. You guys see that? This liquidity. So individuals that are, or traders that don't know what they're doing, are saying this is a demand zone. We're looking for a bounce now. Also, we've been getting beat up for the past, I don't know what this is, one whole week. We got a bounce now. All right, broke that zone, no problem. This got to be the real demand zone. Oops, no, that's not what the course that I learned said. This got to be the real demand zone, because they said the one all the way in the bottom is usually the demand zone. And what happened? Freaking Tesla just running all over those liquidity. They don't understand where the price is going. They're literally getting destroyed. Don't be surprised when you see Tesla going to 118. Am I saying it's going to do that overnight? No, it's not financial advice, like I said, right? I'm giving you guys my target, but I don't want you guys to trade like this, because I'm against also you guys trading a pajama trader. Now you don't understand where the hell you should be getting your entry or your exit. So I want you guys to focus on one structure. Focus on one structure and knowing your areas where you need to liquidate. So you know that this area here has a lot of orders. So you know Tesla has to come back here. And literally, we did that today. We grabbed some orders. So what can potentially happen now, right? So we have this entire structure. So what we can see is potentially Tesla we're supposed to be here, right? So right now, potentially what can happen is Tesla can go all the way up here, right? So our zone, this got to be blue. Structure is always blue, right? So what can happen? So Tesla can do this, can go up here. People say, okay, it's bullish. It is bullish, but we're waiting for price to get that confirmation. Or Tesla can even go all the way up here, grab all these liquidity, and once they grab all that liquidity, bring the price lower, right? In the form of catalyst, Elon Musk, Tesla said batteries not improving, but everything was already calculated. They know that we had to liquidate here because the composite man has a lot of position here that they're all negative on. Right? The moment that they made this down move, they had to sacrifice their position, open up a lot of position, sacrifice that position, bring the price up higher, and because they know in the future they're going to bring the market back down, which is happening here in real time. Right? And I'm gonna show you guys another setup that I took today on SPY. And sometimes the setup is not gonna go your way. I'm just gonna be honest with you, right? I had a 5-minute, and what happened? It was beautiful. Well, I usually charted in my 2 hours. Right? So I had that structure, this entire red candle. Cool, right? Had that structure, had that S and D zone, form of rejection. And what happened? I said, I'm going to take it, you guys. I deleted everything. That's why you can't see the trade. I told my community, hey, guys, I'm going to take it. This is, I'm thinking this was the UTAD right here, grabbing all these liquidity. Excuse me. Grabbing all the liquidity here. So once I saw that, guys, I'm taking puts. I was up for a second. I think I was up a couple dollars. And then what happened? It started trading above. And that's going to happen. Stop me out my play at broke even. I can't be mad. I'm broke even. I'm break even. Right? I don't mind it. I manage my trade very well. So right now, we grab all these liquidity here. And what do I see? Where do I see SPY going? I see SPY going to this liquidity right here. Right? Trade came above all the way up to this 373 area. And I had this zone before because I had it earlier. Or I can even see Tesla going all the way up here because I know there's a lot of orders here. And then potentially taking out those lower prices that we talked about. But I'm not going to have you guys trade like pajama stripe traders. All I can tell you is take this out. You can take calls or you can leave that there, right? But I prefer here. I'm a very conservative trader, and once I find my entry, I just leave it running. And I would just shave contract here, and it can potentially go down because I do see the bank's footprint here, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video on that. I do see the bank's footprint here that they need to grab all that liquidity, but also overall, my target is here, right? I know a lot of liquidity is here, and I know they are looking to grab that liquidity. So I definitely see SPY going all the way back to 380 from 365, and they might do it in a form of catalyst. They might do it thinking that it's going to dip and then go higher again, right? So guys, like I said, I just want to make that quick video. Hope you guys learned how I create these institutional zone, and you're not just saying this is a demand zones, so we're going up. We're going up here, right? Because we all know that is literally like not understanding price action, because if you had a demand zone here, you would have got destroyed on this play. You guys see that? If you had a demand zone here, you would have got destroyed on this play. So I show you guys where the liquidities of the markets are, right? You had a demand zone here, you would have got destroyed. You guys see that? Like, it's giving you cookie effect. Like, yes, you would have made money, but I'm always going to say also that most retail traders are greedy. They hold this play. They know that the market can only give them 800, 1,000, or $100, yet they still hold. So they make their green trade go red. That's normal. That's a retail trader mentality. They don't understand how the market move. So what happened? They get punished for that, for not understanding the knowledge that they're supposed to understand, and boom, they were break even, gave all that money back, didn't take profit, don't even know what a stop loss is, and boom, they get destroyed. Oh, there's a demand zone. Give them that cookie effect again. They got scared, probably shaking off that weekend. What happened? Take the price higher to this zone, touching this price target. Okay, barely even touched it. Did it touch it? No, it didn't touch it. Right? I had this in my last video, but it didn't touch it. And what happened? It went down. And the worst part about it is they probably had a catalyst. They did it overnight. Excuse me. But that's exactly what I'm saying, right? If you had this as a demand zone, what would have happened? You would have got destroyed. They didn't even give you any cookie effect here, right? You would have got destroyed. So I'm sharing with you guys these SND zones that are most likely to hold in a form of imbalance, where the composite man is in those areas, right? That we know that the price will come back up here and go down lower. Like, we are missing the play, but we know where the overall the trend is, right? Like, this was right here, beautiful. Let me delete everything. This right here was a beautiful setup. If you see it, like, this is all I'm gonna keep talking about, you guys. I know some of you guys are literally sick and tired of it, but you can't really hate me because you guys are using my strategy and you guys are literally killing it. So you guys love me. I know that. I love you more. Right, that last up move before the down move, which was here. What happened? You just wait for price to come up to that zone. Sometimes it's gonna break up that zone, but you have an understanding where the overall price is. You guys see that? Boom, we take it down lower, targeting the structure low. Did we hit structure low? Yes, we did. Beautiful. And then we went right back up. Right? So guys, I hope you learned where to find your institutional SND or the bank SND. I just, like I said, I want to make these quick video. I'm anti against these 2 hour, 3 hour video. Those things are for my mentorship, but in here, the attention span is getting a little bit lower, and you guys like things straight to the point. Like, I watched this video not to talk to you, but I want to understand, like, what is the strategy, right? And I'm giving you guys that. Guys, thank you once again for supporting me. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, like and subscribe, because we have a lot of content happening right now. Let me see that channel. We have a lot of content going on. The golden goose, we have the white off, and then we have more videos. I'm not going to share, that's a surprise. We have content literally until November 21st, and a bit more that are not done that my team are working on. So most likely we're going to have content until January 1st, 2023, right? And like I said, you do not want to miss one video, because if you miss one, now you have to catch up, because I create this channel in a way where it's a build up and compounding of education, that in order for you to understand this video, you must watch the previous video. But you can't be updated on the new videos or this type of video if you're not subscribed. So please subscribe, because I know you guys are getting a lot of value from that. And also, if you're supporting my merch, thank you all so much. We have so much design. We have more design coming up in 2023, so stay tuned for that. But right now we have 3 amazing design. If you are in New York, get your hoodies. It's getting cold. And yeah, you guys, if you get your merch and you use your strategy, just tag me and share these little wins with me on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to share with you guys little more tips on a personal level, right? Guys, that's all I have for you. Peace and have a great evening.